to talk about building the culture of learning and building the culture of growth. I know this is lunch time. I will make it as light as possible and as interactive as possible. Okay, before we get into learning about how to grow or build the culture of learning, I want to tell how to build a good culture, or what is a good culture all about, right? So first let us see what is a good culture. Where will it emerge from? Like when I'm interacting with any person, right? First what we will do is we will talk of some time, and then after some time we will judge internally about that person, saying that, oh, he is having a good culture, or he or she, sorry to say he, but and we will judge that person that, oh, this is a good culture, right, or a bad culture, or bad person, good person, or something like that. So on what basis we internally define what is good culture, right? So I would say that, a good culture is like, comes from the ethics and values that person is living with. And how he is living with those ethics and values is he will come up with some rules and regulations, or I can say guidelines, which that person should follow, right, to make the experience after the interaction very good, and then say that it is having good culture. So one of it, if I have to take an example, right, I am honest. To say I am honest, I will have to have some guidelines or rules, right, to follow, that I am not taking bribe. One of it. If I can ask you all, can you all tell me one more? Any one of you, please tell me one more guideline which a person should follow to say that he is not taking a bribe. That becomes ethic and value of that person, right? Anyone? I know lunchtime. You have to go fast for lunch, right? So something like this, right? So I'm helping other person, but I'm not expecting anything else from them. That becomes one of the guidelines or rules to say that that person is having good culture, right? Or living by example, right? And now coming to organizational culture, what is it? Like, if it is a person, we will judge. But if it is an organization, how is that we are going to define culture, and then how is it we are making sure that all employees follow a good culture is, first, culture comes from the values and objectives, what the organization defines. See, and again I'm taking one example here because it is a dry topic. One of the examples can be customer satisfaction is the first importance for us, can become the value of an organization. Now, how we are going to define the culture from that value is what makes it, right? So when customer satisfaction is first priority, becomes value, then comes like, when a customer enters, we are greeting them and then we are listening to them, right? Becomes one of the guidelines for all the employees. And when any customer issue comes, we are trying to address that within some time. Within 24 hours we are addressing. That becomes one more guideline or rule. And there should be tools to support this one. So the organization should deploy tools to support these culture, and it should be promoted as well. Like, so from one of the values we will take and then write a lot of guidelines how it should be implemented. The culture is about how, right? What we are doing, how we are doing, it becomes culture actually. So if any customer comes and interacts with any brand, how the experience with which they live becomes the culture of the organization. So after defining what is culture and how we are going to do, we will have to educate all the employees about how we have to do. Otherwise it will not come, because organization is not one person, right? Organization is set of people, set of teams. So we have to educate all the teams to understand what the culture is. And one time definition will not work out. Like, I'm defining, it is there in the books, and then we are forgetting about that, will not work out usually in the culture. So we should promote that culture. We should have trainings around that culture. So everyone should be trained. Normally these kind of culture trainings will be made mandatory as well in the organization. So every employee of the organization will undergo these kind of trainings, and we have to promote this culture every time, every minute, in every meeting. Only then and the leaders should be living by example. They should be following this one. Like, when I'm talking about leaders, all his employees, he should be considering as customers. Customer satisfaction does not mean the external customer itself, right? The internal customer also he should satisfy. So he or she should be living with example and should be promoting this one in every meeting. We should be talking about this one in every meeting. And of course, having rewards and awards will make sure that we are promoting that one, and then organizational culture, we will be building it in the right way. So this is what I emphasize on, having rewards and recognitions for the values which all employees are living with. And now coming to culture of learning. So now when we know that what is culture, let us see what is culture of learning, right? Now culture of learning again comes from the values and the objectives of the organization. It does not come simply, right? I cannot say that, oh, you will learn this one, you will learn that one. It should be tied up with the organizational values and objectives and goals of the organization. So first, define the objectives and goals of the organization or business, and drive the tech roadmaps or business roadmaps. We should have everything like this one. If I have to take an example, right? Innovation is the way we live, can be one of the values of the organization. So when they say that, innovation is the way we are living, or innovation is the way we live, right? At that time, it should be broken down into objectives of the organization and goals of the organization. So when innovation is the way of life, okay, one of the goals can be like, okay, I have to achieve 100 innovations in this year. That can become one of the goals, next step towards having that culture in the organization. And to come to next point, so breaking this down as goals, right, into team goals, and then it should reach the individual level. Like, now organization is having a goal of having 100 innovations, then I have 10 teams, so okay, for each team I will give 10 innovations as goal, right? So team A will have to innovate 10 innovations around artificial intelligence, assume. So that becomes one of the goal of the team to achieve the organizational goal. And it will drill down till the individual level actually. So if I have 10 team members, one of the team members will get one innovation, each of them as one goal. One of the innovation as a goal. And learning objectives will become from bottom to top. When we are getting goals from top to bottom, learning objectives will come from bottom to top. We will identify, in order to achieve one of the innovations from one employee, what is that he or she should learn is what should be identified. And as a team, what is that the team should be working on or learning is what we will have to identify. And then these becomes the learning objectives. And we are living those learning objectives again and again, and then we are tracking all of them together. Like, we should have trainings around that one, or create accessible trainings, like you can give LinkedIn training licenses or Udemy or anything, like you can have external trainer coming up and then giving the trainings, and then we are promoting this one. Like, as I said again, I am reiterating, the leaders should be following this and living with example for when we are building a culture. And then we are talking about learning in every meeting, like, oh, what is that which we have learned today? What is the new thing which we are going to learn today? Right? In every meeting we should be discussing about learning, so that the culture is defined in the every employee's mindset. So we are changing the mindset of the people, saying that, learning is very important for everyone. Okay. So encourage collaboration. So having external trainer, everything is fine, but internally we should create and encourage collaboration between all employees. Like, I have taken one training, I should be giving back that training to all other employees as well. So this kind of collaboration and then openness should be there. So all of us will make mistakes. So mistakes should be kept open, and then we should be accepting all the mistakes and then learning from that mistakes as well. And again, I'm telling, having rewards and recognition will make it very good culture to having learning and around learning as well. We can have rewards and recognition. We can have something like, giving back the certification fees, all these kind of things we can bring into the organization. Okay, now what is growth? Now that we have learned the learning culture, and we do have learning culture in our organization, now we can target the growth. From where this culture of growth comes is from, again, organizational goals. It comes from organizational vision. Like, an organization is having a vision, 5 years vision, that, I should become $5 million organization. How we will become $5 million organization is the learning, which we have already said. Like, I want 100 innovations is one of the goals. And then this year, if I am going to get 100 innovations, next year I am going to sell all those innovations and then try to get money into organization. So that kind of culture, or I can say that, it should be very transparent to all employees. What is our vision? What is every individual contributing towards how the growth of the organization should be very transparent. And after defining what is vision and goals, and then when we have goals, like, to get 100 innovations and then get from those innovations these many dollars, define the areas of innovation. I'm just taking this as an example, it can be anything else. We need to have a high performing teams. So we have to build high performing teams, or we should make the existing teams high performing, either by reorg or by giving proper learning and then training to them, and by giving right targets to them, and then by bringing in best practices into the organization. There are so many techniques to how to make team as best performing team, or by doing reorg, how to build best performing teams. That is a different topic altogether. So we will just have some points. So the organizational goals are formed. Now they become team goals, and then it will go till the individual goals. I think we are all defining all these things in the KPIs, in the form of KPIs, though they are not very effective, but it should be very transparent, and then each employee should be made accountable for the organizational growth. So he or she should know what they are doing, what goals they are achieving, and in what way it is going, and then contributing to the team's goals and then the organizational goals as well, right? Organizational growth finally. So it should be transparent for all the employees, and then every employee should be made accountable for that one. They should know what they are accountable for. Yes, of course. To building high performing teams, we have to build trust, create healthy conflict as well in the teams, and then we should have open culture. So when we say open culture means we should encourage discussions, we should encourage difference of opinions, we should listen. The earlier speaker was also telling, right, Nirupama, that we should encourage discussions, and then we should listen to the ideas of others and then bring in the best idea and then try to implement that one, rather than saying that, I am the manager, you should listen to me, I am the leader, you should listen to me. Kind of culture should not be there actually. We should encourage, and we should also know each one's weaknesses. Like, I am good in React, you are good in Java, so let us have a strength by coming together. Or I know your weaknesses, you know my weaknesses, I will teach you Java, you will teach me React, and then we become as a team very strong. So this is what is open culture is all about, and then we should actually build this one and then encourage teams to perform very high in potential. And yeah, I already covered increase accountability, because when every employee knows what is that they are accountable, they will become highly accountable, and then the accountability will get increased actually in the teams. And also, we should not leave focus. So all our target is to achieve 100, assuming 100 innovations, and then so many billions of dollars we have to achieve. We should be tracking when we are learning also, we should be tracking how much we have learned in what time, and then how much we have actually achieved in terms of goals, right? What and all we have achieved, and we should be focusing on results and then tracking those results and then letting the leadership team know that we are on track. That becomes very, very crucial. And of course, awards and recognition should be there. Why? Because with awards and recognitions only, employees will get motivated, and then we should be celebrating each and every milestone. Let it be small milestone or big milestone. We should be celebrating with the form of awards and recognition in everything actually. So that makes it a good culture of growth and then learning actually. Any questions?